Welcome to today's video where we are pulling down the entire front end, well really the whole engine bay, to do a timing service on the Yeeata. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that this thing is leaking so much oil, it's kind of ridiculous. The cam angle sensor seal is pouring out, that little O-ring there always fails on these things. The valve cover is leaking, the cam seals are leaking, the front main is leaking. Everything that you could think on a car that's done a lot of miles that would fail seal-wise has failed. So my plan is today, pull all this down, we're gonna do a full timing service on there. The guys over at Treasure Coast hooked it up with some really epic parts. We got a full Gates Racing timing kit, so that's the tensioners, the belt and everything. We also got the water pump that goes with it. Look at this bad boy. All the new gaskets, all the new rubber boots and stuff like that go on the timing case as well. I'm pretty pumped about that actually. That's really nice. Oh look guys, it's actually a 1.6 water pump too. If you guys know, you know, we've had wrong water pump issues before. We got the valve cover gasket. We got the thermostat housing gasket. There's the O-ring for that cam angle sensor. We've got, oh, that's for the shifter boot. I've got to put that on later. We got new cam seals. We got the new front main. We're all good. We've already done the rear main on this when we did the clutch and the transmission. So for now, let's, I guess, start the time lapse and pull this whole thing down and see what we find. I want to take a moment to talk about today's video sponsor, which is Dafsky. And I'm sure a lot of you guys already know about them because you're car enthusiasts, but Dafsky is an online store and they sell the sickest air fresheners for your ride. I especially love it. They have a lot of Japanese culture, JDM car inspired ones, but the best thing is they obviously smell great, they last long, and they have a huge range. So even if you're not into JDM cars, they've got you covered. So definitely check out their website, dafsky.com. Get yourself some really sick air fresheners. And literally, I know so many of you guys have already supported this company and grabbed a bunch of their stuff. So let's hear about it down in the comment section. I've got them in all my cars. I've even got a waifu hanging in one of them. They've got some very interesting stuff there. So definitely, once again, guys, go check them out. And like I've said before, these guys are car enthusiasts themselves. So you know that when you're getting something made by a car enthusiast for a car enthusiast, you're getting exactly what you want. So once again, go support the companies that support me. I would not be able to do the things that I can do without companies like this. So head to dafsky.com and get yourself some sick air fresheners. I got everything pulled down in record time, which isn't surprising considering how many times I've pulled these things apart recently. But pretty much all I gotta do now are 2 cam seals and the front main. We'll put the new water pump and gasket on and thermostat housing gasket and all that kind of stuff. Put it all back together, cam angle sensor, and we are done. I've already used like 2 cans of brake cleaner on this thing. There was just so much like built up oil and sludge and stuff from everything leaking. And it seems to be very apparent that non-OEM seals were used because these are like discoloring and doing weird stuff. Maybe they're just that old, I don't know. Although it does seem like someone's been in here recently because there are like red marks on the cams and on the top here and stuff that indicate that someone's done timing. So maybe just the timing belt was done because the timing belt does look like relatively in good condition. So maybe they just did that. Maybe the belt broke at some point and they just left everything as is. I mean, I'm just speculating at this point, but definitely everything's worn out and leaking, so we're getting that all fixed up now. So I didn't want to bore you with more time lapse of me putting everything back together, but as you can see, for a pretty big update, we've got pretty much everything done now. All I have to do is valve cover gasket and put the valve cover back on, and then put the radiator and all the radiator piping back together and the accessory belts. So we've pretty much done everything, and it's only been, I think, 2 hours now. So we've really smashed this out in quick fast time. I'm actually really pumped to just get this thing back together and fire it up and see what it sounds like when it's running, because I did find that the intake cam was actually off by one tooth, whoever previously did timing on it. So hopefully we should pick up some of that lost power that we were seeing really low results on the dyno. Anyways, that aside, I'm pretty much just gonna smash the rest of this out and give you an update of this thing running at the end. I've got everything back together and it's time to fire this thing up and hope that everything's right, because I'm gonna be a little bit upset if I've just put everything completely back together and something's not right. So let's just, I guess, touch wood, guys. That'll do. Make sure we're in neutral. And let's just see if this is gonna work. Right away back to life. That's idling better too. Wow. That exhaust never gets old, I'm sorry. We really gotta fix that. Yeah, this is sick. Now we gotta let this thing bleed. Get all the air out of the system. I did also find a bunch of plugs and things like that that were broken that I repaired and replaced. So especially for the O2 sensor, which I think will be another reason why we were lacking some power. But yeah, all in all, I think it was a good thing that we did all the work that we just did today, because I found so many other issues with the car that needed to be fixed. Look at all that air coming out. Drink, my precious. So there we go. We got the car all back together. It's running great. Probably the best that it's ever run since I've owned it. So I'm pretty pumped to take this thing for a little bit of a drive tomorrow. I'd take it out now, but this thing's obnoxiously loud and it's already like midnight and I don't want to wake up neighbors. Plus, there's a bunch of stuff in the way here that I don't want to move by myself, because that car's dead right now and has no subframe. Anyways, so tomorrow we'll take this thing for a little rip and we'll pick things up from there. But I'm pumped. We got all this done in record time, which, let's be honest, I should be able to do that as quickly as I did because of how many times I had to redo that same job on the red Miata after learning the hard way that AutoZone seals fail and it's better to use OEM Mazda ones. So I'm just glad that we got all that done in record time, because tomorrow we can go rip that thing. First thing this morning, quick little stop to AutoZone for something that we've needed for a very long time now. A real muffler for the Yeeata. So let's get back to the shop and get this thing on there. That way we can actually hit and quit things and not be super ignorant. So let's get back. Cherry bomb. Piece of crap. So here's my plan. Same layout as what we did with the cherry bomb. We're gonna weld the muffler in there, and then this tip is gonna come onto there and hopefully try to come out in this hole just like we did with the other one. But for now, my goal is to just try and clean up the surfaces, weld this thing into place, and then listen to what this thing sounds like. You guys have already heard how bad this thing sounds, so hopefully this makes it better. So just finished welding up the exhaust. Let's find out. Did we make a difference? Please be, otherwise I'm gonna cry. All right, we're in neutral. Let's see. Oh boy, I'm kind of nervous. Oh, clutch, America. Oh my gosh, what a difference that makes. Wow. Hell yeah. We also got it in the hole here too, so I was pretty happy about being able to line all that up. Let's listen to it. So when you really, really get on it, make some noise. But that's really acceptable compared to what it used to be. Hell yeah, it's only loud when you really get on it. All right, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so we're out here, you know, putting the brush bar to good use. Oh geez, there's trees everywhere here. Oh boy, okay. We gotta weave around telegraph poles and stuff like that. This is definitely a pretty cool spot. We're in behind the shop and some properties, and oh yeah, nice little open field. Oh man, this thing rips. Yee yee. All right, time to turn around. We did a bit of bush bashing. Let's see, can my bull bar handle a little treat? All right, let's go through here. Yep, yee yee. Alright, we all good? Yo, this thing's epic. I can literally hit it and quit it now. So much quieter. Oh, I love the dip in this too. Alright, let's head back. Oh man. It's definitely a lot more peppier too since we did the timing. So what I want to do for the rest of today's video is actually give you guys an update on some things and answer some of the questions that I see repeated a lot in the comment section. Mainly they're questions that I've answered in live streams and stuff like that. So if you aren't subscribed and have the notifications turned on, definitely do that so you don't miss a live stream. As well as channel members have the ability to rewatch old live streams now. So if you did want to go and do that, you're more than welcome to. Now, that aside, probably the biggest update is I can now go home. Earlier this week, after a bunch of calls and stuff like that, the embassy finally sent me confirmation that I am now counted as special circumstances and can return home. Now, this hasn't been available to me and I have not been able to go home until now. If any of you guys do a bit of research on Google, you will find there are tons of news articles about how the Japanese government has been the strictest with foreign residents out of every other country. They're the only country that have banned foreign residents who have a job, who are renting property, or who even own property and have children, have wives, have family and everything in Japan. But if they're not a citizen, they were not allowed to re-enter the country. So they, obviously, the Japanese government got a bunch of bad feedback for that. There was even some protesting and rioting and stuff that kind of actually happened locally in Japan because, you know, foreign residents that were actually stuck in Japan couldn't even leave for funerals and stuff for family members overseas. So it's been this huge ordeal, and I'm sure if you jumped on Google, you could, you know, find all that information and articles. In fact, I've been sharing a bunch of it on my Twitter to keep a lot of you guys updated. So from here on, things are going to be moving very, very quickly for my time to end here in the USA. I don't want to announce exactly when I'm flying back yet, but it will be very, very soon. In fact, I think it may also be only a matter of days before I leave. As I said, the moment I got the opportunity or get the opportunity to go home, I am taking it. I am not going to wait any longer. So, that being said, I will be going home very shortly, so keep an eye out for Japanese content coming back. There's a bunch of stuff happening in Japan. I'm really excited. Not looking forward to the COVID test the moment I go through customs though. They got to stick a thing up my nose into the membrane, so that's going to be, yeah. Anyways, so that aside, I guess let's talk about the giveaway car. That's getting picked up this week. There was a few delays and stuff there with the owner picking that up just with Father's Day and things like that. As I said, the person that won it for their dad, and I know there was a lot of people saying and asking, you know, why this person was underage, and there is a pretty big loophole here. Obviously with giveaways and stuff, you do need to be above the age of 18, but the billing address on the order that the person placed was for a parent. So in that case, you know, there were plenty of other parents and stuff that entered as well for their children and stuff like that, and that's totally normal, that's totally legal. It's a pretty big loophole, and I'm not the first YouTuber to do a giveaway where this has happened. So I do appreciate that a lot of you guys, you know, were understanding with that, and there were some negative sore losers and stuff like that, but you know, it is what it is. So that aside, that's getting picked up this weekend, so expect to see a video of their reaction and all that kind of stuff. I'm really excited to meet them. We've been talking backwards and forwards a lot, and obviously I've been discussing everything that we've been doing with the car and fixing the clutch and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pumped to just see them and meet them and actually hand over the keys and kind of shed a tear as they say goodbye to that whole I guess journey and project on the channel in my life. And I just want to say, like, you know, the giveaway car and everything like that, I never really started it or wanted to do it as a means of making a massive profit. In fact, I'm sure a lot of you guys, and I've seen some people comment on this, you've seen that I've put a lot into it. The more and more orders that came in, the more and more I looked at everything and went, okay, well now I can just put more into the car. And that's what I did, and I think that's what I like to do. And I just love that you guys, essentially, the more that you guys purchased through the online store, the more that car evolved and became something so much better. So in a way, it kind of felt like I was giving back to you guys. I think, like, you know, just building something so so sick like that that was essentially funded by you guys. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but at the end of the day, I'm really not walking away with a huge profit whatsoever. In fact, I'm probably just meeting halfway. So I just wanted to be like completely honest and transparent with that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people were also asking why I didn't do like a live stream when the person was drawn. That's all done by a third party and a lawyer in a different company, so I don't actually get the opportunity to do that. In fact, I did ask them if we could do something like that, and they said that legally that's not allowed. So for small giveaways and stuff like that we do in Japan, that will still be the normal thing. But when we do car stuff, and there will be a really sick giveaway coming soon that may or may not involve flights to Japan, and then you getting your car there and then being able to go back with it, it's going to be very, very cool. And I think it's something I've been working on for a very long time, and this was kind of like the test for it. So keep an eye out for that. I'm really hoping that with the current situation that the world's in, that things will get better, and by the end of this year we can pull the trigger on that. So just a little bit of a hint there. We're not going to give away too much more there, although that's, you know, the direction we're going with that. So there's that aside, and then I guess the next biggest update is the Yeeata. I wanted to keep this car in the States as a bit of a fun beta thing, but just because I don't really know what's going to happen with COVID and everything that's happening in the world right now, so I think I would rather someone else enjoy it. And we've done a bunch of cool stuff to it, and there's going to be a bunch of more cool things coming, like there's a wet nitrous kit coming for it and stuff like that, and we're definitely going to jump it before it's done. But it is officially now for sale. So if any of you guys are interested in it, please DM me on Instagram. Look, with all the work that I've done in it, all the, you know, fixing all the seals, the timing service with the NOS kit, and all that kind of stuff, I think it's fairly fair to ask for about $3,500 for the car. So, you know, if any of you guys have that cash lying around, you want a super fun off-road vehicle that you can push a NOS button and just yeet through mud piles and stuff like that, definitely hit me up in the DMs on Instagram. First person to PayPal me a deposit for it gets the car, and I believe on Sunday it'll be ready for everyone to pick up. Sunday time here in Florida. So DM me on Instagram, we'll make it happen. Now, I think that's pretty much everything I needed to update you guys on. There's a bunch of other stuff obviously happening behind the scenes and stuff like that, and things are just super hectic right now for me. I'm beyond ecstatic and excited that I'm going to be able to go home next week sometime. It's if I was to be honest, it's been very difficult to not let my emotions take the best of me. You know, being separated from my wife for so long, we've been married for 5 years now, well, coming up to 5 years shortly, and like this is the longest I've ever been away from her since we first got married. Like it's kind of been insane. And then just being away from home, like, you know, not being able to talk to Oko-chan like face to face. Like, I mean, sure, we've been FaceTiming and stuff like that, but you know, if you've ever been pulled away from home and it's been against your will, I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from, the whole homesickness thing. And then just feeling like I'm overstaying my welcome as well. Like, obviously, you know, I'm paying rent and stuff like that to Chris for using his shop and staying at his house and stuff. But, you know, obviously this wasn't a situation that any of us wanted. And, you know, it's not hard for all of it to compact and make you feel pretty crappy. So all of that aside, I'm really excited, and I'm just excited to go home. I think I'm going to take a fair few days off when I get there, but yeah, I'm going to do a full video explaining how I got stuck here and all that kind of stuff, which will probably go live around the time that I'm flying home. So if you guys want to share that around, I think it'll be good, because I really want to get my story out there so that the Japanese government and anyone else in a position that can make a decision like this with foreign residents can actually keep this in mind for when this happens again. Because ultimately, I don't think COVID or anything like that is the last time we're going to see something like this happen on a world scale. And I think we could all learn from the mistakes that we made today. Well, not today, but we made during this pandemic. So it'd be good to try and get my story out there so everyone can see it and encourage people that are stuck in the same situation or worse situations than me. So anyways, I've been talking a lot. I hope you're still here. If you're still here, leave me a comment that says Hot Wheels, and then I'll know that secret word. All right, guys, it's not secret. They're everywhere around me. That's all I could think of. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button, write us a comment, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Jamata.